Hi, my name is David, and I'm going to walk you through how I solved the CSWA practice problem 9.7. Or at least I think I solved it. My center of mass was much different from the answer key's center of mass, but for the life of me I can't figure out why. The pictures that we're going to see towards the end of this video look exactly the same as what's given in the diagram here, but the center of mass just ends up being different. In this case, I suspect either the parts are different from the parts they used from this center of mass, which I don't know, but that's a possibility. It's happened in past level 9 practice problems. Or they just wrote the wrong answer in the answer key here. I don't know. But I think the steps that we're going to go through are sound. They definitely match the pictures. And let's get started. So first off, let's open up a new assembly, double check that the units are MMGS. And they are, because that's my default. Then we'll insert connector at the origin. So if you've got all your parts unzipped in a folder, then we can double click on connector and place it at the origin by hitting the green check mark. So that's locked into place, it's fixed, and so that's good. So we'll insert the rest of the components, the arm, the bearing, and the shaft. And we'll want to check to see if there's any rotation that we need to do. Looks like for this piece, we want the flat side to be near the bottom, which it is. So that looks like it's already looking pretty good. Go ahead and set that down. This piece right here looks like it's about the correct orientation. This piece is going to go right down under there, and so we can just click. No rotation necessary for these pieces. Alright, so I think the first thing we're going to do here is to connect this part right here with this part over here. So the bearing with the shaft. We can make these concentric by clicking on this curved face and then holding down Control and clicking on this curved face, and when we release Control, it opens up a little context menu where we can select the concentric mate. So that'll lock those into place. But then this can move up and down. And also it can be rotated as well. Now one thing, if we look at the diagram, is this little hole right here is aligned with this curved face right here. So let's make those concentric. This curved face and this curved face concentric. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So now we want to connect or mate these pieces with this piece right here. So if you look, there's a little lip right here that the bottom of this part is going to sit against. And if you got it wrong and you actually tried to make a coincident mate with the bottom of this, I just want to show you real quick how you can do interference detection to see why that's not going to work out. So if I make these coincident, and it's probably going to try to, and then these ones I need to make concentric. There we go. Okay, there we go. So it looks like it's kind of fitting in there nicely. There is a weird gap right here, so that wouldn't match the picture, and it doesn't bump up like in the picture. But another way you can tell is you can go to Evaluate, Interference Detection, Calculate, and it's really cool. If you haven't seen this before, it calculates the overlap between the solids. And there is an overlap, which means there's interference between those solids, and that's not good. We don't want that here. So we'll go ahead and delete those mates that we set up. So I can grab this and yank it out of the way. And then set up the correct coincident mate, which is to go on the top annulus here and make these coincident. That way it's sitting at the right height. And then select this cylindrical face with this cylindrical face, and then make those concentric. Okay, there we go. And if we check with our interference detection, calculate, it'll say no interferences. Good. Okay, so we have another part to connect, this one here. So we're going to go ahead and make these concentric. All right. And here's another place that you could possibly make a mistake. So if you looked at this and thought, ah, that fits pretty well into there, so let's just go ahead and make this face coincident with this face, right? Done that in past level 9 problems, and it seemed to work pretty well when it fit tightly. But if you rotate, look at that gap right there. See that gap that opened up? And that's not probably what was intended. It's probably intended that this be right in the middle so that there be equal gaps on each side. Now, it wasn't specified in the problem, but that's probably the intent. That's an assumption, I guess. So let's delete that coincident mate. We'll move this off to the side. And instead, if we want that to be right in the center, we can set up a width mate by clicking on this face, this face, this face, and this face, holding down Control each time I'm clicking. And you can see that there's a width mate option that opens up. And if I click on that, it's going to slide the piece right in the center. You can hit the green check mark and check that out. Right in the center. Okay, he had to do this for a previous level 9 problem, but it's been a couple of problems since, if you're doing them in order, the last couple of problems you haven't really had to use the width mate. Okay, so this guy can be moved up and down, this guy can be rotated, and that's good because we're going to go ahead and fix those two angles. So let's set up this 128 degree angle. Now, one of the sides of this angle, one of the planes of this angle, we can use this face for. So actually this face down here in this picture. And then for this side, this plane, we'll use the planes of this part right here. The bearing, as they're calling it, as it's called, I guess. Okay, so we'll select this face. Then we'll mouse over the bearing, hit Q, which shows the planes for that face. And we want to select the planes for that part. And we want to select the right plane. So Control, click on the right plane. And then go to Angle Mate. And we want 128 degrees between them. Enter, enter, and there we go. Looking pretty good. All right, so then we're going to set up the angle for this guy here. And for that, we need a 45 degree angle. So when we think about the planes that we're going to need, well, one of them could just be the bottom face of this guy. That's going to be parallel to this center plane anyway. So if we just pick the bottom face, that'll be an easy, convenient one to pick. And then for this, we have a lot of curved faces, and so it's going to be hard to pick necessarily a plane that's like this just from the part itself. And so we'll use the planes, one of the three planes for this plane right here. One of the three planes for this part, for example. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab this face, and then we'll hold down, we'll mouse over the part right here, hit Q, and you can see that we want this guy right here. That's the front plane, it turns out to be. Hold down Control, left click, set up the angle. Now it's saying that these two planes are 134 degrees apart, so that means it's measuring this angle here. So if we want this to be 45 down here, then we want this angle to be 180 minus 45. So I'm going to do 180 minus 45. Hit enter, and that way I don't have to worry about trying to rotate things around, flip alignments. I just did the calculation straight up based on what I saw. Okay, everything is fully defined, which is kind of nice. And we can look at the picture here. We can compare it to this picture here. And if we zoom in, we can see that this is looking pretty good. And by the way, actually, if you've never seen this, you can hit G, and it opens up a magnifying glass, G for glass. And you can kind of like move it around and actually select things. You can even zoom in without affecting your overall view. You can hit G to close it again. So if you look at this part, it is looking pretty good compared to the diagram. And you know, if we look at all the different other views, like this view right here matches this view exactly. Let's see, what other views do we have? We have a top view, right? So that matches this guy exactly. So the center of mass has to be exactly the same, right? Unfortunately, not the case. Let me just do a rebuild to make sure too. Control Q for rebuild. Okay, so the center of mass I got is negative 14.54, negative 73.17, and 10.47. Totally different from this center of mass that's given right here. And so again, I don't know exactly what's going on. It could be the parts are different or they just copied down the wrong center of mass. But whatever the case, I hope this video was helpful, and thank you for watching it, and take care. Keep studying.